Outside the Box viewers. This is Dede Farrell with a 5-minute update about my opinions on the Japanese earthquake. I've spent this last week looking at, I would say, dozens and dozens of documents on the subject of the nuclear fallout, the causes of the earthquake, the plight of the Japanese people, which you can't help but feel great compassion for. That's one of the upsides of this, is that people do develop more of a sense of compassion and unity with their fellow man when they see them suffering, because that is basically the only thing we have in common, is none of us want to suffer and none of us want to be unhappy. As far as the causes of the earthquake, that's on so many levels it's almost impossible to address. There's, of course, many people that believe that HAARP has something to do with it when they understand the way the technology works and how we've had verifiable evidence that other quakes and cyclones and various activities have been assisted, if not completely caused, by the HAARP technology. The one thing I do see that's happened here in America is a lot of people, which is another upside of this thing, have become a lot more acutely aware of their own inability, were it to happen here in Portland, to be prepared for it. And people say to me, well, if you don't think everything's going to get really bad, or you think it's all going to be okay, why are you preparing? Well, it's only prudent to prepare for something that could occur in anybody's life. I believe nature probably has a tremendous amount, not probably, but does have a tremendous amount to do with the earth shifting and the poles shifting. I'm not so convinced that that's the only thing happening, because I know too much about the other things that are at play here in the world in order to manipulate and coerce the population into being just a little more of a sheeple than they might already be. I think the upside also is that people are banding together. I was with a group yesterday and all they wanted to talk about is, well, let's make a plan and what will we do and where will you be if something happens. They decided to put together emergency equipment for their car now, which a lot of people don't have, even if they have things at home. So I think this is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of what we're actually going to see here as consciousness continues to slip away into either circling the drain or what they call ascension, moving up, growing up into a higher level of consciousness that allows you to actually see what's going on and be effective in doing something about it. I realize that not everyone is here to learn these valuable lessons of waking up to your own sovereign person. However, we still have to live here together and take care of each other despite all of these differences and all of these earth changes. That's the bottom line, is that we're all in here in a humanity situation like a big soup. And I think the best thing we can do is to help those that are willing to be helped, let others assist us, and try to educate people where you can on these various issues. I sat down with someone last night and they said, well, things aren't really all that bad. And I said, well, yeah, they don't look that bad unless you look at the whole circle. You look at genetically modified food, mandatory vaccinations, chemtrails, fluoride in the water, the closing of schools, the ripping off of the public's money for the so-called IRS, which doesn't even have a district office in any state anymore. And people will just voluntarily give up their right to have a better life in order to support these myths. And there's a new book out called The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose, and I would recommend that everyone read it, because it actually is very clear on what the most dangerous superstition is not that the global elite bankers have really blown it and taken down our economy and the economy of the world with their greed and their misshapen ideas of what's right. But the most dangerous superstition is for any individual that thinks that any association, corporation, government has any authority over them whatsoever. I'm not talking about anarchy. I'm just talking about people giving their power away because it's the myth or the superstition they grew up with that if they don't do it, there's going to be some kind of hell and damnation come down on them. So the Japanese people are no different. You know, they've been lied to by their government. We're being lied to about the amount of radiation coming out there. So all I can do is use this and other things that happen as a wake-up call. Do your own homework, educate yourself, make your own decisions about when it's time to dose yourself against radiations. Make your own decisions when it's time to explore what it really means to be a citizen of a community or a citizen of a country. And don't just acquiesce every single part of your personal power so someone else can have claim and control over it, because that's what really causes the disasters. So take care, and God willing, we'll all be here another day to share and celebrate together.